Hi guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the side series. We're here at Camp Rancor. We're doing a little bit of a break between factions and Nightfall because I'm waiting for the 7 hero update. We had 2 episodes already. That was at the Tomb of the Primeval Kings down here. Check that out if you haven't seen it. And now we're going to be starting a new one, which is at a place here called Sorrow's Furnace, which was released a few months after Prophecies. What happened was they released the game, and then a few months later a countdown timer appeared on their official website, and the only thing that was accompanied with it were the words that said the War Census of Ore, and nobody really knew what that meant, but it turned out that those words were an anagram of Sorrow's Furnace, and this was all released, and it's to do with a big underground kind of dungeony area beneath the Shiver Peaks, which we'll soon be seeing, and everything we see here has got a lot of relevance. We're going to be meeting a lot of characters. It isn't so much relevant to Nightfall, but it's very relevant to the Eye of the North, which we will be going to eventually. So I thought this was going to be a really good episode to show you guys. So I'll be doing it with you guys. I don't know how many people will turn up again, but we'll see. So when you see me in a minute, we'll be out here on the snake dance. When we were here in my main Prophecies Let's Play, I just kind of came up here through the Talus chute, came to Camp Rancor, and then ran off back down here. We never did see what was north of here, so we'll be seeing a glimpse of that. And a lot of what's going on here. You remember the dredge from Factions, I'm sure? Well, this is where the dredge actually came from. This is where they're being enslaved by the Stone Summit. So, I really didn't enjoy the Shiver Peaks when we were here before because of all the Stone Summit. But it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, we've got an 8-man party. We'll be meeting Menlo and Sin and all that lot. So, yeah, this should be pretty fun. I'll see you guys out there in just a second. Alright, guys, so we're here. Lots of people turned up this time, so it worked much better. So yeah, let's go out into the snake dance. Yeah, I had to turn a couple of people away. I'm sorry to you guys. They might turn up later though, because some people might go away or something. I have no idea how good our team's going to be. But yeah, so there we go. This is the snake dance. This is an area that I've never really shown you before. It goes all the way north, basically. You can see the writings there, which just tells you how long this explorable is. And it can eventually lead you onto a path that takes you all the way to the northern Shiver Peaks, back up to Beacon's Perch. We're not going to be going the whole way though. We're going to be taking a right sort of soonish. I'm going to try and speed this initial bit up because it's only just really occurred to me how many quests and things there are to do in Sorrow's Furnace. So this will probably be a good few episodes. I'm trying to film as many of the quests as possible today, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, we're killing pretty fast. This is pretty good. Alright, okay, so yeah, I'll speed it up until we get to the next portal. So we don't really have any quests or anything just yet, so I guess you could say that we're kind of blindly wandering around as it goes at the moment. But we will very soon as we reach this new explorable area, Grenth's Footprint, we will get a quest there. The story basically goes that the Stone Summit have recently been digging out in this place called Sorrow's Furnace, which is a huge, huge mine. And they've found something there, and they're doing something which has got the Deldrimor dwarves very worried, of course, because these guys are in civil war. So we're basically going to go around there and check it out. And this has got a lot of relevance to Eye of the North, because Eye of the North as an expansion, it's got a lot to do with the dwarves, as I've already said. So like a lot of the characters we'll be meeting here, a lot of them, you might think that they're just random NPCs and you'll never see them again, but it is very likely that we'll see these people again when we reach Eye of the North, which is pretty cool because some of them are quite big characters as well. So yeah, this is quite important. I wanted to do this now. You could be thinking, oh well, Eye of the North's quite a while away, why are we doing it now? And that's a good point, but as far as the actual story goes, I believe the heroes are supposed to have done this around the time of Prophecies and Factions. When we get to Nightfall, there's going to be quite a leap forward in time. Quite a few years are going to pass, so I did want to do this around about now. So yeah, and of course Sorrow's Furnace will be there in Guild Wars 2. They released a map of this kind of area of the Shiver Peaks, and you can see everything that's happening there in Guild Wars 2, and you can see that the Sorrow's Furnace is there. And it's going to be a dungeon in Guild Wars 2. We don't really know very much about it, but we met the dredge in Factions, and they'll all be around there in Guild Wars 2 as well, so we'll be sort of learning all of that story. Anyway, this is just our walk all the way up the snake dance. It is really long. This is actually the longest explorable area in the entire game. It is so long. It's just winding mountains going up and up and up. We actually got lost for a little while, but that's okay. I cut out that bit where we got lost. So yeah, it's just a couple more minutes and then I'll start talking live again, guys, so see you in a sec. So here we are, we're pretty close now. You can see there's a signpost here, and that says to Grenth's Footprint, which is the first new explorable that they added. You can see it's just through this cave here. We got a little bit lost in the middle, but I'll probably cut that out. So yeah, we're ready to go through, guys. There I go, I'm talking to you again as if you can hear me. Alright, so you come into this cave, and we're in the new area. Obviously, at game's release, that cave wasn't there. And we can come through, and straight away we see this dwarven prospector who's got a quest for us. So he says, Grenth's Footprint is a dangerous place. Many's the traveller to these lands who left his bones by the wayside, and his family wondering what became of him. There are 3 dwarves and a human here who could use a well-armed escort. Will ye go and seek them out? I'll look for them on the road. So then he can tell us, there's lots of these prospectors, they can tell us where these people are. So let's say we're interested in finding Galen Trask. He says that he can be found here, and he'll update our mini-map and point us to the location. Now this explorable area isn't the only place that was added. In the middle of this explorable area there's a war camp called the Deldrimor War Camp, and it's an outpost. So that will be our first port of call, because that's kind of like the hub area. You can keep going back there. And all of this sort of side quest area, oh, my party window's still on. All of this revolves around 4 quests which you complete, and then you get a big quest. And they all involve the furnace itself. So I think I'll speed it up again. These stone summit here, actually, these are really dangerous ones. They're much more powerful than the ones we've seen before. Like the priests will resurrect people and all kinds of nasty stuff. So yeah, you can see a signpost here saying to the Deldrimor War Camp, which is up there. You can see everything's got this kind of orange hue, and over there you can see, just to catch a glimpse of it, that kind of fiery thing. That is the entrance to Sorrow's Furnace. So yeah, oh god, we're being attacked. So this is the Grenth's Footprint, and the description of it is that it's a maze of canyons and cliffs in the southern Shiver Peaks. The area is claimed by the Stone Summit, and several of their mines are located here. A few Deldrimor soldiers can be found in the more remote areas, scouting the terrain and searching for their lost brethren. Ah, wow, okay, so we've already got a green. So you can see this is the location where they added greens in. Yeah, so this guy dropped Thornbeard's Horned Bow. This was the first place the bosses would ever actually drop that stuff, so that's pretty cool. We've already got one. That was like the first boss. Alright, so let's go up this way. So yeah, because of those greens, when this update first came out, this place was really popular, because it was a really easy way to get max weapons with all the really good statistics, and people used to collect all of the greens because there weren't too many of them, and it was just really fun time. Okay, so that's a much nicer view of the entrance to the furnace there. Very cool. Okay, and this is the war camp just up here at the top of this hill. There we go, there's some dwarves around here, Budger Black Powder and Ennis Granis Strider, and we'll learn more about those guys soon enough. And yeah, this is the Deldrimor War Camp. So, this place, let's read the description. This place, this is, in fact, actually, I believe this is the last outpost. That was the only outpost I never went to in this Let's Play, so we've now seen every single one on the Prophecies continent. Except for one in pre-searing, but that doesn't really matter. So, Deldrimor War Camp. A dozen years ago, 2 Ascalon explorers, Marshal Whitman and Tasca, planted a flag in the ground and declared this thin patch of land to be their base camp. Those days of peaceful exploration are now gone, replaced by ballistae, Deldrimor soldiers, and war yaks perched upon the precipice of Grenth's Footprint. So it talks about 2 explorers here, who we will learn more about. But something interesting about them is Whitman and Tasca, and this area up here is called Tasca's Demise. And where's the other one? And this one's called Whitman's Folly. And there probably is some story behind there, which we'll learn about soon enough. And I think on this episode, the little lore description I'll do is to do with the story when Devonna and Sin and so on are talking about those 2 people. So yeah. Just give me a second, I might as well go to the merchant and stuff. And also, I want to just quickly render down this little bit, so I'll see you guys in 1 sec. Okay, and we're back. Alright, so this is kind of your central hub area, and it's kind of become a bit of a war camp now. This guy says, no one cares for these here dollyacs like I do. Ah, Scotty, your coat's a mess. Here, let me brush it for you. Hold still now. I love the dollyacs, I really do. They're pretty cool. And yeah, there's just some ballistae and stuff. Of course, the dwarves are in civil war, as you'll know if you've seen the first series. And there's another guy up here. I don't think he says anything that significant. Don't bother me now. I'm fixing these ballistae. So yeah, he's trying to fix them. And this is all kind of Stone Summit war grounds, really. So yeah, we're going to meet this first guy. There's 4 people we need to meet. 3 of them are dwarves, and 1's a human. And the human is called Galen Trask, who wants to complete his mission inside Sorry's furnace. We have no idea what's going on in there yet, but it's time to find out, don't you think? So let's go. Now, just so you guys know, I'm going to show this the first time, but a lot of this, because it's 4 different quests, going over the same thing, I'm going to show you the walk down into the furnace just once, and then the rest of the time we'll just be cutting from the people, because I don't want to fill these episodes up too much with me just wandering around these mines, these old mines. So yeah, let's speak to the prospector, because he can tell us where these people are. So, where are the dwarves and humans? So ask for where Galen is, and he's marked on our map that Galen's just north a bit. So let's go. So going back to what I was saying about the greens earlier and how everyone loved to collect them and stuff. This Sorry's furnace, at the time of the update, people kind of think of when this came out to really be the golden age of the first Guild Wars game, because PvP was still really balanced because they hadn't released any new campaigns. They just released all this new awesome content, and the way you actually have to do the quests here, you have to split and do all these cool little tactics and stuff, and people just really loved where the game was at, and then that was kind of all thrown out when Factions was released with the new professions there. Okay, so here's Galen. Hopefully no one will attack us. He's right out near the entrance you see here. Let's speak to him. He's from Ascalon, I believe. He doesn't look like he's from Ascalon, but I believe that's the idea. Oh, he's running off. He says, Trask's the name. Perhaps you've heard of me. I'm quite well known around in these parts. Ennis has asked me to find some worthy volunteers to pose as slaves inside Sorrow's furnace and scout this place out. Okay, so we're going to be posing as slaves. Alright, so yeah, we've accepted that, as far as I can see. And let's go on in this big intimidating place. So we're going to pose as slaves. The Stone Summit have got a really heavy presence inside there. And we're going to feel like the Dredge, basically. Now this quest's a really nice one to introduce you to the inside of the furnace, because where you're slaves, nothing, it's not everything around there won't be trying to kill you every second. So you can really learn about the layout that's inside there and what's going on, which makes it a really nice introductory quest, really. So here we go, Sorrow's furnace. And every time you come in here, depending on which of those 4 people you spoke to before, every time you come in, it completely changes the quests that you've got on the inside. You see this gate doesn't open until we talk to this guy, Galen. That changes depending on who you speak to. Wow, I'm lagging a little bit. Okay, so let's speak to Galen. Oh, he's running off already. Okay, someone else is here. Taskmaster Ironboot. Hail Ironboot, I've brought you some fine slaves. Humans! You don't see their like every day. He's mean to the core, that one. Last night he made me go fetch him a cold one. Humans are overrated. Why? They expect to be fed daily, but it looks like you've already enchanted them, so I suppose we can use them if the price isn't too dear. These are strong and healthy. They'll last years. I say they're worth at least 1,000 gold each. Hoo-hoo! Ah, Trask, you're a real piece of work. Do you take me for a fool? I'd not pay that for the lot of them. I'll give you 100 gold each. Oh, wow. So we're completely worthless, really. You wound me, Iron Boots. You know I can't possibly take less than 300 gold for each of them. I'll give you 200 each, and that's that. Take it or leave it. Yes, I'm worth twice that. Definitely. Okay, so what does he have to say? Oh, he's still talking. Iron Boot, you scallywag, you've called my bluff. The slaves are yours. Now pay up so I can be on my way. Follow me, humans, and don't dawdle. Okay, well I'm going to dawdle because I want to talk to Galen. Alright, here's the plan. Our dwarven friends mentioned 5 locations. The Stone Basilar, Dark Haven, Sorrow's Belly, The Gap, and the Iron Arch. You'll need to scout each one and then return to me. You'll be posing as a slave, but don't worry, I'll get you out of here when it's all over. Now, I'm going to have to put an enchantment on you. The Stone Summit won't take you without it. It will prevent you from attacking the Stone Summit, and it also gives them certain powers over you, so try not to make them angry. Once the enchantment is in place, I'm going to sell you to the Taskmaster, and you'll have to follow him to the slave pens. Once you're inside, you're on your own. Good luck. Holy crap. Okay. Some people say what I do is reprehensible, selling folks as slaves to the stone summit. But I'm a merchant just like any other. We all have to make a living, you know. Okay. Reprehensible, sorry. Okay, let's do it. So these guys were chatting. I caught a little bit of their conversation before. So these are some of the dwarves. Stomach's taskmaster, are you going to talk to me? Okay, no you're not. Alright, so this is inside the furnace. It doesn't look so bad once you get through the fiery entrance. And yeah, look, these guys would usually be trying to kill us, but because we're posing as slaves, they're not going to. So there's all kinds of stuff we've got to do that will scout these 5 locations. And you can see the dredge, who are also sadly slaves. And this is where some of the ones that we met in Cantha, they came from here. They dug their tunnel to Cantha. Okay guys, so I'll try and speed this up as much as possible. I've actually lost my team, I have no idea where they are. Okay, and yeah, I'm just going to be following the map on the wiki. And I'll probably slow it down and mention afterwards all the cool, interesting things. One big thing that goes on here are these gearboxes you see. You can take the gears, I'll demonstrate how that works. You can click the gearbox and it will actually stop all of the mechanisms here. And then you can put this into other gearboxes, like this one here. Which, I don't know if this is the correct way, let's see. Yeah, and you can put it into this one and it will open the gates. So yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, I'll try and speed it up as much as possible. So our main goal here really is just to go to these 5 locations that we've been told about so that we can see what's going on. Here you can see I'm headed off to the first one with these awesome giant arches around here. I really love the architecture here. But yeah, if you actually follow the slave master we were sold to, he takes you to this dwarf called Crack Flamewhip. You actually meet in Eye of the North, so you might want to remember about him. And he gives you 5 kind of side quests. Okay, so here's the first location on this weird kind of archway thing, and now we're going through the forest to the second location. And Crack gives you some quite cool quests. Most of them are pretty boring filler, so I didn't want to show them, but a few of them talk about the dredge and what the dredge are doing here. And it turns out that some dredge have decided to rebel, like as you could just see there, that are fighting each other. And you get this really cool kind of dynamic where you've got some dredge that are allied with you who are too weak to rebel against the other ones that are rebelling. So those rebellious dredge are the only things we really have to fight in this whole quest. So here's the second location, and now that we've been here I'm going to quickly cut it back to the front bit. And there's actually another interesting quest that Crack gives us, which I'll talk about in a bit. So yeah, this is the second location. Let's cut back to the main area. Okay, so we're back and he says, I'm telling you, we should all be very nervous about the Iron Forgeman. That's what those 2 dwarves were talking about. We don't know what they're saying yet. Beware the Iron Man who runs this place. He was created by the most foul and evil of magics. And that was one of the dredge slaves. So as we're going through this place, there are loads of conversations. You can hear what all of these people are talking about. So here we're just going to the third location. And they keep talking about this Iron Forgeman guy, and this other quest that Crack gives you is to do with a flame djinn that's escaped. So this is the third location. This is called the Gap, just that huge sort of chasm and all those chains up in the sky. Now I'll cut back to the main room again, and now we're going to the 4th area, which is through this gate, where there's loads of rebelling dredge actually, absolutely loads of them, which we have to take out. Yeah, and Crack talks about this flame djinn, and we're not 100% sure, but he says that it has escaped from the Iron Forgeman, or gotten loose from it. And they don't really elaborate very much on it, but that's very much to do with what happens at the end. So that was the 4th location we just found, and here's the 5th. It's just through here, right very deep in the furnace actually, and you can see everything goes red again and all fiery. So there's this guy here, Makar Thoughtslayer. No, come back, come back. And he's actually a collector, even though it doesn't say collector by his name. He says, the dredge menace must be stopped, and I'm going to be the one to stop them. We'll start with their propaganda, round up 5 dredge manifestos, and bring them to me for burning. I can offer you one of the following in exchange, and he'll give us some scrolls. And here are some furnace guardians. We're pretty deep into the forge at the moment, and until we've completed a lot of the quests, we're not going to be able to get past these furnace guardians. You can see they're bloody huge, but eventually we will be able to break through there and see what is going on down there. What were they talking about with that Iron Man and ancient magics? What are the Stone Summit doing? Okay, so we need to walk back to Galen to talk to him. We could try and map out, but we're not too sure, so we'll just walk back to him. Whoa, I'm not sure we can actually go through here, can we? Is this the right way? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Oh, crap. I thought I was going to make it. Oh dear, okay. Alright, I'm up. Good stuff. And there's another one. Looks like that was the wrong way anyway. We don't have any gears, so... Alright guys, I think I'll cut it until we find Galen, so see you in a sec. Okay, so here we are back up at Galen, I believe. Or has he wandered off? Oh, the bastard's wandered off. Okay, so let's go back. Oh no, there he is. Okay, cool. So that's the first quest out of 4 done. Well, actually out of 5. We get an extra quest after the first 4. He says, excellent work. This ought to go some ways towards compensating you for what you've been through. So he gives us quite a lot of experience for that. So, that's that quest done, and we're probably actually going to finish filming here. Tomorrow, there'll probably be a lot less people because I haven't done sort of a video inviting people to it. But tomorrow, we'll probably start playing again, same place, same time, and we'll be doing quest 2. So I hope to see you guys there. See you later.